In this video, I'm going to be discussing whether or not you should be bidding on your own branded terms in Google Ads. Now, I've been running my PPC agency for 8 years now, and I've been spending millions of dollars on ads every single one of those years. In that time, I've been asked about this a lot. Today, I'm going to tell you the ins and outs of brand bidding and how to go about it. Stay tuned because I will also show you my method of managing your CPC bids so that everything stays super profitable. As you probably already know, brand bidding is the practice of showing ads in Google for your keyword terms around your brand name. Here's a really quick example. Let's say you're Walmart and you want to do brand bidding. You'll set up ads in Google Ads and you will target the keyword Walmart, plus any related terms like Walmart online, buy at Walmart, etc. When someone next searches for your branded keywords, they will see not only your organic listing, but your paid listing next to it. Now let's start by looking first at all the most common reasons not to bid on your branded keywords. And I have to say from my experience that the most common reason cited is they were going to click on my organic listing anyway. 90% of the time when someone tells me they don't bid on their own branded keywords, this is the reason why. Now, there are a bunch of other reasons that sound different but are really just getting at the same thing. Reasons like, Google already has enough of my money, why pay for branded ads? Or, I already have the top spot in the organic listings. Or, I don't have any competitors bidding on my branded terms, so why should I? All of these reasons, and a bunch of other similar sounding ones, all stem from the same key assumption. And that assumption is that if you have the top listing in the organic results, you are going to get all those clicks anyway, whether or not you pay for a paid listing. Now, I'm going to look at some of the data around this assumption later on in this video, but for now, let's just progress on to the other reasons that I most commonly see cited when people say they don't do brand bidding. Now, sometimes you might have tried brand bidding and you might have found really lackluster performance on those ads. Most commonly, I see this happening when brands have brand names that get a lot of interference from other unrelated keywords. For example, I once had a supplements client that had a very similar brand name to the name of a popular whiskey. In their case, performance on branded keyword terms was actually unprofitable because most of the people searching for that term were looking for the whiskey, not for their supplement. This is probably the strongest and most defensible reason not to do brand bidding. If you launch it and you just find that the profit and revenue numbers are not there, despite having set it up correctly and optimized it really well, then yeah, maybe brand bidding really isn't for you. Sometimes when you look at the performance of your Google Ads account, you might initially see really strong performance at the account level. But when you dig into the data and look more closely at it, you might start seeing that really high performance on your branded campaign is kind of masking poor performance on your non-branded campaign. In this case, you might be tempted to stop doing or to reduce spend on your branded keywords. This will stop the brand campaign from propping up the results of the account overall and start to give you a clearer picture of when you're really making money or not. Now, this reason sounds pretty defensible and decent at first, but stay tuned for later when I'll talk about a way of achieving the same effect through the way you set up your goals and reporting rather than by limiting your spend on brand. Alright, now let's move on to the list of reasons why you should do brand bidding. The very first reason I have for you here is in direct contrast to the main reason why a lot of people don't do brand bidding. And that reason is they weren't going to click your organic listing anyway. At least not all of them. Now, this might sound a bit counterintuitive at first. I mean, they searched for your brand and your brand came up top in the organic listings, so of course they were going to click it anyway, right? Well, that's how the traditional thinking goes. But actually, that thinking has some assumptions layered in that when you really start to examine them, start to fall away. First of all, let's look at those organic search listings of yours and let's just assume for now that they really do come up top all the time. I mean, oftentimes they don't, but that's a discussion for a different thread that I'll dive into later. So let's assume for now that your organic listing is showing up at the top. Even then, you're not getting all the clicks. Think about your CTRs, your click-through rates. When you assume that you're getting all the clicks, then what you're basically assuming is that the CTR or click-through rate on your branded SEO is 100%. 100%! Have you ever in your life seen any digital marketing campaign that got a 100% CTR? Nah, me neither. In fact, multiple studies and data sources like the one I'll link to in the section below have shown that the actual click-through rate on your branded organic listings is more like 20 to 30%. If we flip this around, then that means that 70 to 80% of people do not click on your organic branded search listing even when they search directly for your brand. Now, it's because your organic listings aren't getting most of the clicks that brand bidding leads to incremental clicks over and above what you would have got if you weren't also bidding on your branded terms. In fact, a study by Google, which I'll link to below, shows that when you have the paid listing and the organic listing at the same time, you get 89% more clicks than if you only have the organic listing. Now, this study is from 2011 and there was an update in 2012, so I'll be the first to admit that the study is a little bit out of date now. That being said, over the past few years, the organic results have only been getting more and more buried. We've now got bigger ad slots, featured snippets, knowledge graph, answer boxes, bigger shopping results, and more. So I'd bet good money that with the current state of the search results page, the incrementality of paid ads has only increased. Now, when you have the top paid ad and the top organic listing, you're going to command a much larger share of the screen real estate on the first page of Google. This probably goes a long way in explaining why paid ads deliver such an incremental uplift in clicks. If you look at a typical search engine results page and then look at the amount of space taken up when you add the space taken up by the paid listing and the organic listing, you can start to see where some of that incrementality might come from. Remember that 70 to 80% of the users are not clicking on your organic listing. They're going to click somewhere else. And when you have that paid ad listing as well, you're increasing the chances that what they do end up clicking is a link back to your site. Another reason why you might want to do brand bidding is to protect your space from competitors. You probably already know this, but Google does allow companies to bid on their competitors' branded terms. This means that if you don't bid on your branded keywords, your competitors might, and they might steal your hard-earned brand traffic as a result. The good news is that because you are your own brand, you are the most relevant result for those searchers. And this means that you'll get a much better quality score on those terms than your competitors. This will allow you to effectively block them from the search results and pay much less money than they would have to if they wanted to achieve the same. Another reason why you might want to do brand bidding is that because when you do, you have a much better ability to control the messaging and landing page for your search result. With your organic listing, you're pretty much stuck with whatever page, probably your home page, that Google indexed for your branded keywords. With a paid listing, you'll be able to choose the exact landing page that Google sends traffic to. For example, you could choose to send your branded traffic to a landing page where you're actively running split tests to increase the conversion rate of that traffic. Furthermore, you have a faster, easier way to control the messaging with your paid branded PPC result. Changing your messaging is as easy as logging into Google and updating the ad copy. This allows you to test and learn what really works well with your marketing messaging, and it allows you to more easily sync up the messaging between your ad copy and your landing page. Now that we've covered the main reasons for and against brand bidding, let's dive into some of the nitty-gritty details about how to actually go about it. One thing that I always recommend you do is that you separate your keywords into brand and non-branded campaigns. This will allow you to clearly see the difference in performance and results between the two types of keywords, and to aim the two types of campaigns towards different goals. Now, in most cases, your brand campaign is going to have an amazing ROAS of 8 to 10x and above. Assuming your brand campaign has a ROAS in or above that range, then your goal should probably become just to show ads all the time. In PPC lingo, we can translate that into a KPI. You should be aiming for a search impression share of 99% or above. Make sure that on your campaign screen you can see the columns for conversion value over cost, search impression share, search lost IS due to budget, and search lost IS due to rank. Assuming that your brand campaign ROAS stays at 8x or above, you're going to want to make sure that that impression share column stays at 99% or above. If you ever see it drop below 99% despite continuing to get a great ROAS of 8x or above, then it's time to check those two other columns to see why it has dropped. If you see a number underneath the column of lost IS due to budget, well, that means your daily budget isn't high enough and you need to increase it if you want to continue showing your brand ads all the time. And if you see a number next to lost IS due to rank, well, that means you need to increase your bids in order to show your brand ads all the time. If, on the other hand, you see that your ROAS is no longer 8x or above, then you probably want to deep dive into the campaign, check your keywords, check your search terms, check your ad copy, check everything, and try and ascertain exactly why you're getting a below average ROAS on that branded traffic. For your bid strategy, normally I would recommend using a target ROAS automated bid strategy and to set the target at something lower than whatever was your average ROAS over the past 30 days. Let's say, for example, your brand campaigns normally do a return on ad spend of 9x over a 30-day period. Well, I would go in there and I would set a target ROAS bid strategy and I would target it at 7x. The reason I set this goal is because I want to set a goal that makes Google show my ads 100% of the time. When you set a target ROAS that's lower than the actual ROAS, Google responds by raising your CPC bids and keeping them high so long as your actual ROAS stays above your target ROAS. Now in this case, that's exactly what I want to happen because my goal is really just to show those brand ads all the time, and forcing my bids to stay high is how I'm going to achieve that. Now sometimes you might need to use a different bid strategy. For example, if you get a really low conversion volume, maybe you get less than 30 conversions per month, well then target ROAS might not be the most effective bid strategy for you. In this case, you could experiment with either manual bidding or even a target impression share type of bid strategy. Whatever you decide, just make sure to continue to monitor those four main columns: conversion value over cost, search impression share, search lost impression share due to budget, and search lost impression share due to rank. Whatever bid strategy you choose, it's watching those four columns that is going to tell you whether you're on the right path or not. Now, if your agency or PPC person is creating PPC reports for you, then you should get them to break out brand campaigns and non-brand campaigns into separate sections on the report. I think that all businesses should do that regardless of size, but what does change based on your size is how you review and prioritize that report. To give you an idea, if you're a larger business, maybe you're spending 6 figures and up when you combine it, and you're spending that across multiple channels like Google Ads, Bing Ads, Facebook Ads, Instagram, Pinterest, Quora. Well, in that case, you're probably going to want to prioritize the non-brand section of your PPC report. You should still have your brand campaign performance there in your PPC report, but maybe page 1 or the top part of your report is going to focus on non-brand performance. And then maybe page 2 or the lower down section is going to tell you your brand performance. And then maybe page 3 or the bottom section is going to tell you your entire account performance. If, on the other hand, you're a smaller advertiser, maybe you're spending 10K per month on Google Ads, and maybe Google Ads is driving 90% of the traffic for you, then I still think you should have those 3 sections on your report. You just prioritize them differently. In this case, I think you should focus more on your whole account view. So have your total account view, i.e. brand and non-brand, as page 1, and then maybe non-brand is page 2, and then maybe brand is page 3. So you still have the same things in your report, just prioritize it and focus on it differently. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I'll be releasing more videos just like this one a few times per month, so hit the subscribe button below. If you want a free, instant, automated audit of your Google Ads account, head over to bigflare.com/AdWords-audit. Now it's over to you. Are you going to bid on your branded keyword terms? Yes or no, and why? Let me know in the comments below. No. Because, no. But that's a discussion. Okay. Incrementality of, if you look at, for your, so close. Shake it out.